Everyone, welcome back to Learning Lockdown. It's Matt here, talking through once more around guitars. So last lesson, hope you're paying attention, we learned some chords. And if you've been looking through your chord diagrams, you'll now know A, B, C, D, E, F and G. Now back to A. Can't not resolve that. Okay, so loads of different chords in that. Hopefully lots of fun playing some songs. However, one thing you may have come up against is the strum pattern. Considering now, I know the chord, but strumming it to the right timing. It sounds silly, timing, you know. It's fine. A lot of people have rhythm born into them. Some people learn it. It's cool. But one thing it's good to know about is to get that right feeling, you end up with this strum pattern. And it's important to put that into your playing style, you know. So, introducing this guy, the guitar pick. So, guitar picks come in lots of different shapes and sizes. So I'm going to show them to this camera here. I've got this one here. This is my favourite. It's called the small stubby. I love the small stubby. I've got this one here, which was actually picked up at a guitar show. It's made out of wood. Looks like some sort of ebony, or it's quite nice. Got even a see-through one with, you can't really see it on the camera, but it's got like an indent where you hold your thumb. Quite big. And you've got just a plain white one. But you can see on some of them, it has an M for medium. So you've got medium, you've got all sorts of different ones. This one here has written on it the 84 millimeters. This one, 0.71 millimeters, that's 0.84 millimeters. That's how thick they are. Obviously not 84 millimeters, that'd be ridiculous. Got a shark fin one here, it's a really cool shape. To experiment with the different sides of it. So you could pick with this side, a normal pick. You could maybe scrape with this kind of perforated edge. I was playing with this for a while, the kind of angled design in there. But it's a very thin pick, that one. And then I did experiment also with a metal pick for a long time. You can see the wear I got out of that. Really cool metallic attacking kind of sound. But through and through, I guess you find something that you're comfortable with, and like I say, I've got a few of these small stubbies. I've actually got loads of picks in this box that I've acquired from somewhere. Loads of different bits and pieces in it. I've got quite a few small stubbies in there, different picks in there. Got the Allen keys as well for the locking nut on that you get on the guitar on the end up here, so you can tune the thing. So I've got it all just packed away in there. So it's good to have quite a few different picks lying around. Play with them. They're not expensive. Get an assortment from a music shop or online or whatever, and just have a go with a few different thicknesses and find something that feels right. But onto the strumming, the picking. How does it work? What's the technique? So we're going to play that chord pattern again that we did before. So that works. Cool. So that obviously has a strumming pattern. There's downstrokes and there's upstrokes. Got this multicam on here so you can see my strumming hand. And really it's just getting into the feel of it and having quite a loose wrist sometimes when you're playing chords, having quite a loose wrist to just kind of flow into it. Sometimes you'll be missing strums. So if you were just to strum down and up, even then, loose wrist to give it some flowing kind of feel to it. If you were to miss a few of those, so say we played down and not up, you end up with just downstrokes. You know, so, and if you then add a few up in there as well, start creating a strumming kind of rhythm and a feel to the track. So this one has that kind of So you're definitely hitting, there's a few pauses in there as well. And that's just where you're missing an upstroke, really. So it's really, the strumming through these chords is really a case of just having, I guess, loose muscles, not being too tense. And that comes with confidence and practice. Normally, for me, confidence through practice, knowing that I'm going to get it right, you know. And then just kind of practicing the kind of sound and how you're going to be strumming that. So once more. So you can have loads of different strumming patterns from that point of view. Then it depends on the song, doesn't it? Depends on the feel, depends on how it sounds, and the speed as well, I suppose. So again, practice with that strumming. Keep a nice fluid, loose kind of wrist feel to it. Just, I guess, mess around with a few different bits and see if you can create some cool rhythms and some cool patterns. And that's what the guys making all the music do, I suppose. So how else can you play? We're going to introduce the single note now. So rather than all these chords, power chords, real chords as I called them in the last video, single notes, you can play scales. And we're going to look at a few scales in some other lessons, but I want to show you some picking. And show you how I pick to begin with. So to start off with, picking a single note, you'd hold the pick. Personally, I hold it with actually predominantly my index finger, something that I know quite a few pros do. I've been watching quite a few tutorials from Paul Gilbert recently. Really good teacher, by the way. Quite advanced, so maybe stick with the first bits and pieces first. But you've got holding that with the index finger. Some people do tend to hold it with their ring finger. I don't really see the benefit. Maybe it's just a feel thing. That's cool. It does allow you to do some other things with tapping and stuff later on, but again, there's quite a few pros. I know Paul Gilbert does it again. I thought it was something that I just did naturally, but apparently it's a thing where you can hide your pick when you're going to be doing that later on. But you can hold your pick with your index and your thumb, and you can just play like that if you wanted to. However, I like to put just the edge of my middle finger on the pick just to give it a little bit more strength, and you can get some, you know, you can really hit the strings then with that. I mean, you could hold it quite tight, but then I find if you're holding it like this, it's almost angled downwards against your strings. Quite like holding it so it's a 90-degree angle to the strings. You can just get in there straight down into each string then. So this picking technique, I guess let's just play a single string for now. We're just going to play open. I'll show it on this camera. Open, 2, 3, 5, and then back again. And we're going to do that when picking with downstrokes and upstrokes. So when we play down, so you do have to miss that next highest string when you're plucking upwards. And I wouldn't necessarily just put a little motion on it. You can put quite a big motion on it, but it means that when you're coming up, you've got to, I guess, have the tact to miss that A string and hit that, just hit that low E. And you can get a bit faster with it when you've had quite a lot of practice, and really the picking is just a case of slowing it down, making sure you're really accurate to begin with, and then slowly speeding it up. Some people use a metronome or a tick. You can get an app on your phone or something to do that, or if you've got an actual metronome, if you've got a piano in the house or something like that, that's pretty cool. And slowly speed up that timing, but make sure you're really accurate. So when you get faster, you'll still be perfectly on point. And that's something I'd like to work on, is slowing things down and trying to get as accurate as possible. Something I definitely need to do. So again, you've got the strumming. And that's when you're playing those chords, if you do have a chord like an A chord, you've got to make sure that you're muting that lowest string, because you're probably going to be hitting it. And you don't want it to be ringing into that chord if you're playing that. If you're picking singular strings, then you want to make sure you're going to hit the right ones, I guess, but you can do downstrokes, you can do upstrokes, and you'll find that sometimes if there's a specific need for down and upstrokes on a tab or on a score, you'll have a little hat for an upstroke, and you'll have like a V for a downstroke, so you know what is down, what is up. When you're playing some different scales and things, it's quite important sometimes to get the right kind of feel for learning that tune and getting it how the artist intended. But that is your 101 on plectrums. Get the right thickness, get the right feel for you. If you like a very thin one that can almost bend, that's cool, but it just creates a different sound. Have a listen to this. And you can hear the difference immediately in that. It has a lot of pick sound. Whereas if I use this much thicker, I like that. You get more guitar. Let's try this metal one again. That's pretty similar actually. Cool. So there you go. Picks, plectrums, strumming, and picking. There's definitely technique, but come up with a pattern. You can use mine. Open 2, 3, 5, and back it down again to get that picking motion if you're picking singular strings, and strumming. But keep practicing at it. We might need that. I have no idea. Next video we're gonna learn a song together using tabs. I'm going to explain tab. We're going to have a look at a track which I've never seen. I've heard it, obviously. It's a well-known one, but I've never tried learning it, and I don't know what it is. I don't know how to play it. So we're going to have a look at a tab, and we're going to learn it together in the next video. So we might need some picking, we might need some chords. Who knows? But that's going to be a lot of fun. So tune in for that one next time. Thanks very much for watching. See you again soon.